In a world where geek culture reigns supreme, there's a hidden gem that shines brighter than any infinity stone. Get ready for Huracan, the ultimate comic art convention with a heart.
But what can you expect at Huracan 2024? Get ready for a vibrant tapestry of comic books, writers, artists, toys, food, raffles for unique items, collectibles, cosplay, fellowship, and much more. Previous guests have included renowned comic book professionals and local artists. And let's not forget about the famous raffle table that has gained acclaim as the best raffle table of any convention on Long Island. Huracan just isn't a convention. It's a testament to resilience, community spirit, and power of the geek culture to unite and uplift. So mark your calendars and save the dates for Huracan 2024.
On July 20th, immerse yourself in a world where passion meets purpose. Follow Huracan on Facebook and Instagram and join us at the Bethany Congregational Church, 100 Main Street in East Rockaway, for an experience like no other. Huracan 2024, the ultimate celebration of geek culture and community. Don't miss out.
Our LCS is Cowabunga Comics, Lake Country, Wisconsin's best pop culture destination for new comics, back issues, gaming, retro video games, vinyl, and figures. Give them a call, 262-569-9999. Check them out online at cowabungacomics.com or follow them on Twitter at Incredicow. They are our LCS, and we utilize their deep discount mail order service to bring Oconomowoc, Wisconsin closer to us. They'll take care of you. Tell them Drew and Kyle sent you. Say hi to Eric and James from us. If you need an LCS, you can't go wrong with Cowabunga Comics.
Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is Kyle and Drew with your sneak peek at next week, episode number 923. And we're going to be talking about comics originally releasing on July the 16th and 17th. But before Drew and I get into what's going on in your local comic shops this coming Tuesday and Wednesday, Drew, we are past July. We are halfway through the year. We are cruising in this hot weather. How we doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Reminds me, we just had a little technical difficulty at the beginning of the show because I forgot to pull up our backup recording, and some of our other friends in podcast world, fellow podcasters, like, why do you do this? Why do you do a bit of backup? Well, 99% of the time, 75% of the time, we don't need it. But last week we had a crappy Skype connection, and sometimes Kyle couldn't hear me. Sometimes I couldn't hear him. So we have this a redundant backup that we each make on our own sides, and then we can. It
is not dependent on the grand internet schemes.
Yes, that's basically us each doing our side into our own recorder, and then Kyle sends me his, and we blend them together in a program called Audacity, and whittle it down. And we needed it last week because the Skype recorder did not capture a good quality audio file. So that's why we do that. Nobody cares. Well, I don't know why I shared that with you, but I thought I'd let you know anyway. Some other,
just so you know, there are multiple layers of work that go into this. Even though we like the casual signing, it just sounds like these two sit down and don't have a care in the world. It takes a lot of work to make it look like there's no work. It's similar to what I used to do with my hair, where the meticulous dishevelment, where I spent as much time as I could to make it look like I just woke up out of bed and had the bedhead look.
A lot of product.
It was not easy. Yeah, exactly.
Lots of product.
Exactly.
So we had a little publishers news. Random House, our good friends at Random House publisher out there, Penguin Random House, sorry, bought Boom. So Boom Studios is now owned by Penguin Random House, and
didn't know it was for sale.
I did not either. It's one of the more quality publishers, I felt, 100%. It's an AWA is very strong. I thought Boom was very strong with its line. So there's a lot of quality books, IP there. You've got Berserker and Lumberjanes and trying to think of some others off the top of my head.
You got me for 2. Let's go. Come on, man.
There's plenty of good boom books.
Just trust us when they say there's a lot.
There have been plenty of good boom books, and now it's owned by Penguin Random House. So that's an interesting turn of events. So if you recall, when we look at the previews catalog, the premier publisher that kicks off the catalog now, since Image defected to Lunar, was always Boom. Yes. So it will no longer be Boom because I would guess
they're PRH, yeah,
because they're now owned wholly by PRH. I would say it's definitely going to be an exclusive publisher for PRH, and probably not the first publisher in the previews catalog anymore. So I find that interesting. Again, your mileage may vary. I like the behind machinations of the comic book publishing world. It's interesting to me.
The times, they are a-changing.
And Kyle, while I was reading articles about publishers being purchased, you were watching a cool trailer. Tell me what it was.
Yeah, thankfully the TikToks and things. My algorithm knows I'm a bit of a geek at heart, so it brings me things like the new trailer for the new Captain America. And of course, Captain America is our boy Sam Fisher, or Sam, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, Falcon. Yep, Captain America. Falcon Cap. Yeah. Okay. So exactly. He's getting a series or a movie?
Sam Wilson, not Sam Fisher. I knew I said it wrong as soon as I said it.
Yeah.
And
is it a movie or a series?
It's a movie. It's a movie coming out in February, if I believe. Yeah, February 14th.
2025. Okay.
Yep. So the first thing you notice, and then the second thing you notice is you get a whole lot of Harrison Ford as President Thaddeus Ross.
So Red Hulk, right?
And of course, the trailer ends with Red Hulk, with just some flashes of Red Hulk.
Okay.
But it deals with, Thaddeus Ross wants Captain America to always be a entity of the U.S. military, and then he knows that Sam Wilson has different thought process on that. So it's a lot of them kind of arguing over what Captain America will be and should be in the future and everything like that. And then you get an assassination attempt on President Ross, and then a lot of talk over, his inner circle has turned on him, and
okay,
it gets into a lot of that.
I was thinking it was Rick Ross, but that's like a rapper.
Yes,
it's Thunderbolt Ross, what they call him, right? Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
So yeah, we're gonna get a lot of West Wing meets Captain America, and all kinds of fun stuff here. So it seems like it seemed good. It seemed like the stakes were high. So we'll see if we get more, but. I can pretty much predict exactly what we're going to get here for a little bit of the future. We didn't get a whole lot of things that I didn't expect coming. My big expectations were give me Red Hulk, and of course we've got Cap as Falcon and all that fun stuff. And there's some former Black Widow people in here and that kind of thing, but I didn't get a whole lot out of the left field necessarily. But I haven't broken it down. I've only watched it twice, so really cool to see that kind of the next phase from them. And didn't see a single Kang anywhere. So
yeah,
this should be what we're doing from this point.
So with this wave, can it right the ship? Because we think it's been trending. Well, the internet sphere thinks comic movies are trending in a downward trajectory. Even though we know in a couple of weeks when we got our tickets to go see Deadpool on opening weekend. We're excited about that. We got a big group of us going, and that should be a blast. And that's gonna do gangbusters. That's already tracking to do what 200 and some million opening week. So yeah, that's gonna do well. Not officially a Marvel movie because it's Sony, right?
No, this was official. Like, I think Feige was talked to. And if Feige was talked to, we're good to go.
If Feige was talked to does not mean it's a Marvel movie.
I'm sorry.
There are other studios. Sony
Yeah.
is a house.
Mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers is a house.
You will
Disney
get
is
the
a
Marvel.
house.
You will get the Marvel crawl in the beginning of this.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, does not make it a Marvel movie.
Okay.
It?
Explain to me, as if I were a child, what would make this a Marvel movie?
If it was a Disney movie.
Well, it's rated
put
R,
it
so
out.
that's already out of the thing. It will be Marvel Studios.
I don't know. Maybe I'm old school, Kyle, but when Fox owned X-Men, those were not Marvel movies. Those were Marvel characters. Those were not
Correct.
Marvel movies.
Correct.
Sony had Spider-Man, and those were Marvel characters, but those weren't Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
And the same with Deadpool.
Produced by Marvel Studios. So just so we're clear.
Okay.
Distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Picture Association of America.
I don't like this.
It is intended to be the 34th film in the MCU and a sequel to Deadpool and Deadpool 2.
Which were not part of MCU.
Correct, but that still means the development of the third Deadpool film began at 20th Century Fox, but was placed on hold after the studio was acquired by Disney in March of 2019. Control of the characters were transferred to Marvel Studios, which began developing a new film.
I thought Sony owned Deadpool.
Again, things have been transferred. They no longer do.
I don't know.
Shall I send you the chart we used to have? Because at one point, multiple people owned singular things.
Yeah, it needs updated. I think it needs updated.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
distributed by Walt Disney Studios.
So there is no outliers anymore then. So it's Warner Brothers owns all the DC, Disney owns all the Marvel.
Yeah, because did they finally get Fantastic Four back and all that fun jazz?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
because we had Reed Richards.
We assume X-Men's coming back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
we saw X-Men in the end of Marvel's.
Yep, we did. Mm-hmm. An era of them. Yeah.
Yep.
You're right. And we got Wolverine coming in Deadpool, so okay, I'm totally wrong.
We've got peanut butter in our chocolate. That's all.
So I am a decade old in my thinking, basically.
Mm-hmm. Get off my lawn, Drew. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, but I'm still excited. I'm super excited for the 27th.
Oh yeah.
Not so excited about Captain America. I don't even know about that one, but I'll watch the trailer.
I'll watch the trailer. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Harrison Ford's 150 years old.
How dare you talk poorly about Han Solo?
He was even propped up long enough to get through the video capture of that.
So you're shocked that we used a propped up old man to sequence the president? Hey.
All right, moving on. Let's go to our good friends at CBSI.
I'm going to head over to our good friends at comicbookinvest.com. Look at the Hot 10 list and the Hot 10 for July 12th, 2024. And Drew, we're going to start in a familiar and beautiful place. We're going to start with Hulk #1 by Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness.
Look at this.
Just what we were talking about.
Transition.
Yeah, more copies of this sold after the trailer dropped than for all of last week, and prices are bouncing up again, as this was about a $60 Raw at the start of the week and has recently hit sales of $85. CGC 9.8s also hit $350 this week, as a quick flash appearance of a big red guy was all the marketing needed to cause a stir.
Nice.
And the poster's pretty dope, because you just see Cap's shield, and then you just see the Hulk fingers on the outside of it. I was like, it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. At rank 2, we have Fantastic Four #94 from my good friend Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Another trailer drop that triggered more sales in the first appearance of Agatha Harkness. We are only a couple months out now from the start of the Disney Plus series, so we may see more spikes. Average sales this week were about $110, and many of those are in lower to mid grades. Very Fine and Raw did manage to hit $150. At Rank 3, Grommets. Number 1, the 1 in 10. This is from Rick Remender and Bright Post, and we've seen this on the list several times.
We liked it.
It's good to see image books popping there. Bouncing on and off the list is this 1 in 10 instead of not a ton of volume, but there are not that many available. Same goes for the 1 in 20 and 1 in 25, but the 1 in 10 is the best. But this 1 in 10 manages to keep selling for more, as averages are now about $93. And this even hit a high single sale of $115 this week. A great read, and the second print just came out, so keep an eye on this one, as it may bounce back on again at some point. At rank 4, Drew, Doom, number 1, second print, 1 in 25. What looks like a familiar entry on the list. This is actually the Virgin 1 in 25 incentive for the second print that was released this week. I may not be a personal favorite of incentives on second and subsequent printings, but we must acknowledge multiple sales with an average of $60 this week with a high of $80.
You know, this is surprising, the legs this has for this one shot. That I'm still surprised at the legs this thing has and the people coming out. A lot of Doom fans out there.
And I think it's pretty much saying Doom needs to be a next BBEG for Marvel.
Well, give him a book. Give him an ongoing for a while.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
The last time I guess it hasn't been that long, but yeah. Hey, look at that detective. That was one of my favorites.
Yep, Detectives 1086, the 1 in 25 Sebastian Fuamara cover. This one just won't go away as it appears for the third week in a row. Sales keep creeping up, so we can't ignore it. Averages last week are up $10 from last week and now hitting $55. This even hit a new high sale with one going for $92. So until folks stop buying this one, we're going to keep seeing this one.
Yeah, I really liked that cover. It was with the splashes of paint on Batman.
Yeah, you get Batman, but you get a little bit of, what's the opposite of noir?
Yeah, it looks like just paint graffiti.
At rank 6, X-Men 97, number 1. News of a new showrunner / lead writer for season 3 have folks going back to X-Men 97. A third print also recently dropped, as there were more than 40 sales of this cover A first print this week that maintains it on our list with more than $20 as an average price for the week prior. This one was more about volume, though. Although we did see a CGC 9.8 creep up to 119 this week, which is a nice increase from last week's $100. And we have now, we talked about, I mentioned the word noir without even reading this. At rank 7, Spider-Man Noir, number 1, David Hine and Patrick Zurcher. This is the week of returns to the list, as we have another one coming back strong. More casting news for this series has driven more sales volume this week, and prices are also on the rise again. Raw is at a high of $325. Dang, Drew. As the CGC 9.8 also reached $525. Dang.
Yeah, that is nice.
At rank 8, we have Annihilation 2099, the number 1, but the 1 in 25 ratio, with Pete Woods doing the cover there. So last week at release, this was selling for under ratio at $10 to $15. However, after folks opened it and read it, they discovered who the new Nova was, and that seemed to have triggered more sales. Of course, that's the theory on why this is a solid story, but prices have inched up to $30 on average and even hit a high sale of $43. So while we're not hitting the comics for fun and profit need for double ratio, we're getting there. We are getting there.
And I didn't even know this. This one was totally under my radar. I saw Annihilation 2099 and I just rolled my eyes and didn't even think about it, and then didn't even look at the cover. And that is a Nova book. That's kind of interesting.
Yep. Do we know who the dude is?
I do not.
I wasn't curious. I'm going to have to read it.
Yep.
At Rag 9, Watchmen number 1, Alan Moore, Dave Gibbons. New trailer strikes again, this time for the animated Watchmen series / movie. Is this a series of movies? Anyways.
Animation.
Whatever the case, we are getting a new adaptation, and it's triggered a bunch of sales, as issue number 1 is averaging $35 to $50, depending on condition, and sets of 1 in 12 can be had for between $100 and $125. A CGC 9.6, even sold for $200. That doesn't make you happy, Drew?
I mean, I guess animation is cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
so I see why they do it.
You can do things. I mean, a lot of these superhero things do things that are not things typical people can do, and it's easier to draw that than make it happen in real life.
Well, I mean, but we did basically a panel by panel interpretation of Watchmen in live action with the movie, and then the series was very high production value on Max. But it also was very expensive, wasn't it? Like the most expensive show of all time for a while.
I remember seeing that. Yep.
Before House of Dragons came out. So yeah, it's cheaper. I get it.
Well, I mean, would you rather get the stories but in animation than not get the stories at all?
I don't think so.
I was going to say, I think your answer is no on that.
I think I'd just rather read the comic.
I thought I was talking to a real person, and it turns out
no.
Never mind.
Turns out no.
All right. At rank 10, X-Men 97, number 2, another cartoon, Drew. Quietly creeping up in the wake of sales of cover A, number 1. This cover A for issue 2 is following suit and has a couple dozen sales this week, averaging $10 to $15. A high sale of $18. This comes as a pleasant surprise, as this remained a cover priced while many chased the second print cover of Rogue and Gambit a while back. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Now, I don't poo-poo you folks enjoying your cartoons, and there are some that I watch occasionally, but as a rule, I just don't love them and embrace them, especially as much as your nerd ass does, Kyle.
Correct.
So, but enjoy those. I'm all for that. I just not for me.
But I can hear it in your voice when I talk about them. It's there's a lot of judgment there.
I don't mean it. I try to hold it on the inside, and it's not a real disdain. It's just I think, oh, I wish that was live action. That's what I'm thinking on the inside. Oh, I wish it was live action and I'd watch it. But I say that, and I still haven't watched the new Star Wars. And it's stacked up, ready to go. Why have I not watched that yet? There's a couple of things like that. Isn't the new Daredevil drop already? Is it out? Is it coming?
Not sure about. It's coming. I don't think it's here yet.
And then you just told me that the Harkness, the Agatha
the
show's coming back. I mean, we're gonna get overrun again.
This is true.
Got to keep up.
What is the name of the new Daredevil?
I was thinking it was coming, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's later in 2025 or something.
Daredevil Born Again is a 2025.
2025, yeah, okay.
Yeah, not quite. All right, sorry, I was bouncing around. I lost my spot. Here we go. Notable sales. We have Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers, number 1, the 1 in 20. I know it's Darkstalkers, but I don't know why I said Darkstalkers. This tough-to-find variant had 2 all-time high sales this week, as a CGC 9.6 sold for $1,000, while CGC 9.8 sold for $1,100 on the same exact day. Coincidence? Someone perhaps cornering the market on these that don't pop very often. Whatever the case, both were impressive sales, eclipsing the previous highs around $400 to $500. Any cover with Chun-Li on it, I'm a fan of.
Yeah, and it's nice Art Germ. Is Art Germ the one that was accused of doing some AI trickery?
I'm not sure.
I think it was, but don't hold me to that. Anyway, move on.
Well, you get me. Nothing recently. Oh, dude, he showed a dope Rogue cover the other day, coming up with Rogue on the front. It was so good. Cannot wait for it. All right, and the other notable sales of the Horrors, number 12, an LB Cole cover. Classic LB Cole War covers hits an all-time high in sales this week. Well, to be honest, this was the only sale in this grade, and highest recorded in the census, as a CGC 9.8. I'm sorry, a CGC 9.0 sold for $10,200.
Wow, nice.
Good stuff, Drew. Now I think we're going to throw a little curveball at folks, aren't we, Drew? We're going to head over and we're going to talk about some future items. We normally talk about our previews, but Drew and I have decided we are going to check out our good friends at IDW. The July.
It was Mattina. It was Francesco Mattina who got called out for AIing a Superman book cover.
Gotcha.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Art Germ.
We apologize, Stanley Lau. We did not mean it. And the good thing we're doing here with IDW, we got Turtles on Turtles on Turtles, Drew, and that makes me very, very happy. The 40th anniversary. Yes. And once we get in here, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Nation #1. New ongoing series, part 1 of the Raphael flashback adventure arc, Attack on Area 51. Between the events of TMNT 150 and the new TMNT #1, this is what we get here. So I like it. We get all kinds of cool covers. We get some Casey Jones here. So all cool things. Some very interesting covers. And of course, we're never going to see an Eastman cover other than like The Day It's Due.
We'll never see it.
Yeah, we don't see those ahead of time. And that's okay. Second book here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Night Watcher #2, Juniba on story and Pharaoh Pei on art. You only have to have a 2-letter last name if you're going to work on this book. No long derivative.
Right.
And here on the next page, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures 17. This is kind of replacing what was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures of my childhood, which was the cartoonier version and offshoot.
Yeah.
These ones hold very, very traditional to the Saturday morning cartoon of my youth. The exact same April, the exact same turtles, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah, and then we have the trade paperback for volume 3 sold as well. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Amazing Adventures Omnibus. This is, of course, going over the Nickelodeon years stuff, which I think these adventures are mostly a carbon copy of what the TV series show was, similar to what Star Wars is doing at Marvel with.
Gotcha.
A bunch of theirs like, oh, yeah, you like it? I could give you a comic of the same thing.
Yeah. Never understood that.
I don't either. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Reborn #9. This is collecting issues 145 and 100 through 150 of the IDW series. Godzilla Rivals, Mecha Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
Ghidorah. I'm not familiar with that. Is that a monster?
Yeah, it's got to be a cow. Oh, is that the one with the multi heads?
Oh, like a dragon?
The Tiamat looking thing. Yeah.
Okay.
52 pages, $8. Godzilla, Here There Be Dragons. #2, Son of Giants. We get some Mothra on the cover here. Always loved Mothra.
Solid group of writers on all these books so far.
Mm-hmm. Godzilla Skate or Die, #4.
Like we got Frank Thierry, we got Eric Burnham. You know, we got a lot of these guys that are Chris Burnham. I get them confused.
Mm-hmm.
Sophie Campbell. A lot of these folks, Landry Q. Walker, are from DC. And we were just talking about DC a couple weeks ago where we don't recognize the writers.
Yes, so many people we don't recognize. Mm-hmm.
And looks like they just let them go do something else.
Mm-hmm.
They just took their ball and went home.
Yeah, they took their ball and went to IDW and said, give me books with Godzilla or Turtles, some sort of reptile.
Exactly.
Godzilla War for Humanity, Godzilla Library Collection, Star Trek 24, Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing on that one.
Lots of Trek.
Star Trek Defiant 19, Star Trek Volume of the God Shock, Path, Library Collection 3. A lot of big Star Trek stuff here. They're giving us all the trades and everything else we're looking for here. The Rocketeer Breaks Free, #3. Here we go, Drew. Man, I wish they'd got the price a little bit better. That's a me problem. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Trade paperback. 152 pages.
$17.99. That's incredible. That's fine. Because this is probably not going to be an ongoing.
No,
He might be done. So if this is all he's got, 17's fine for 5 or 6 issues.
It's fine, but boy, get under $15. Give me the $14.99. I mean, obviously I want the $9.99, but
But that's not fair. It's 6 issues. It's the whole story. Especially if he doesn't do another volume, he's got to let him pay off his house, dude. He needs to make a little bank.
I think you're going to sell more volume because, again, Saga Trade, I bought 3 times because it was $10 and I was just giving it to people. Yeah. And then we have a new Saga Trade coming out, which is just a reskin of the old trade. Guess what I'm going to do again, Drew?
Yeah.
And that's simply because it's a $10 book.
But that's fine. But there's 24 other volumes that aren't $9.99.
Mm-hmm. Well, so people have to buy their own on that one. But
there's first 24 other Saga volumes where so Vaughn and what's her face are doing
Fiona
fine.
Staples.
Yeah, they're doing fine. They're going to make their money. This guy's only got this to make money on.
I want this, Drew, but I'm not going to buy it.
I think it's fair. I mean, I think you add a couple more bucks, make it 20. It could be 20 for 6 issues and still a good deal for what it is. I mean, it's high quality.
100% high quality. Absolutely, completely agree.
You're still not buying it because it's too high for you.
Yep. Thanks for playing.
Gotcha.
Back into Drew's wheelhouse. My Little Pony: The Storm of the Zephyr Heights.
I don't know where that rumor got started, but I would like to.
I have literally seen you purchase a My Little Pony book.
Okay. Why did I do that? What was that for?
Mm.
What was the reason for that?
You were all hopped up on speculation, and you were like, "I'm going through my brony phase, and I don't care who knows it." And
no, there was another reason. I can't remember. It must have been some creator on it.
There was some. I can't remember who it was, but there was an artist that you like. I mean, people like their stuff, and to be fair, you did buy it to sell it, not to keep it. But I think you ended up keeping it.
I don't know that I ever sold it. Yeah, shoot.
So I forever get to say
you do
in the My Little Pony realm.
Yeah, that's true. I've purchased more My Little Ponies than you have.
Yes, this is true. Monster High, the new Scaremaster.
I don't know what that is.
In August. Monster High. That was kind of like the gothic version of Bratz dolls, if I remember correctly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Is this like 2000s, 2010s?
No, 10 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, sorry. Sonic the Hedgehog 73. Evan Stanley writing that still. Sonic the Hedgehog box set, volume 1 through 3. Neil Adams Classic DC Artist Edition, $150.
Yeah, I mean, now that's a price point I can't get behind.
No, but
it is pretty dope art.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Adams is really great Batman. Really great Batman.
Yeah. And that's the end of her. Nice little checklist at the end. Get your Godzillas, get your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you know what? You've convinced me. Get your Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
Now, see, we didn't check this catalog out. It's a little thin.
Mm-hmm.
Not much going on there at IDW. But it's okay to occasionally take one of those little jaunts.
Absolutely, because it had been a while since I ran through them, and I'm this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Nation, good stuff. I like it.
Yeah.
So bring me more of that. Speaking of bring me more, I'm going to bring everybody over to our good friends at coverprice.com. We're going to look at some more secondary market items, see what else is spiking and moving. And we're going to start with the very first thing, X-Force #1, issue #1. While anticipation for the Deadpool and Wolverine is building towards the release date, Captain America Brave New World has been putting out tons of new rumors. This past week, a rumor was released about Giancarlo Esposito's character in the film. In case you missed it, the actor was cast very late, and leaked set photos of the reshoots show Esposito in what looked like a military or mercenary outfit. Fans were trying to pinpoint who the actor could be playing, but could not find an answer. That is until a known insider tweeted that it was the character George Washington, or G.W. Bridge. This character was a mercenary in a group called the Wild Pack, led by Cable. He later went on to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. Does this mean Esposito will be in the MCU for more than just this movie? Who knows? The only thing we know for certain is that the rumor caused a huge spike in interest of this cover and all of its card variants, tracking 26 copies sold, a 7-day growth trend of 269%. Variants as high as $75 for a CGC 9.8, and floppies going for about $12. Can't beat that. At rank 2, we have Moon Knight, Fist of Kanju, the Zero. This is, of course, the secret one per store variant that got taken out, which was awesome. High sale of $48 for this. We still saw 146 copies sold.
Jeepers socks.
Yeah, 48 was the high, 44 still the thing. So people still want that secret book there, and that's still moving. And every shop is selling one online.
Now, okay. So 146 copies, selling for $45-$50 a piece. Sell. And the number one book sold 26 copies at $12. Why is it number one?
Maybe just the amount of growth from what it previously did. You know, you're not looking at necessarily 100% volume. Sometimes you're looking at, boy, this was a good volume and now it's a great volume kind of thing.
Okay.
So we're just kind of, you know, because we're talking hot books here. So it's not always the best book. Sometimes it's just the one that be like, oh, this was the biggest uptick, or this is the one we saw the most movement from what it normally does on.
Was a big spike, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Because so we're looking for trends here, Drew. Trends.
I'll allow it.
Oh, I appreciate that, sir. Makes things a lot easier for me. And that's all that matters. All right, at rank 3, of course, New Mutants 98, the giant book. 30 copies moving. $1,059 for CTC 9.8. And $353 for Rawls. Very good stuff. It will always be a big dog book, and it's just weird that I could have easily bought it for next to nothing and just chose not to. At rank 4, Wolverine 88, the direct edition with the $100.95 price on it. 29 copies sold. High sale of $120 for CGC 9.8. Rawls going for about $40. Drew, number 1. We talked about second prints earlier, Drew. This one we're just talking about the good old first printing, the old Sanford Green regular cover A.
Yes, very nice.
29 copies selling for that still. CGC 9.8 is going for $120 already for a book that's a month old, and floppy's going for about $40. X-Men Volume 1 11. Issue 11, Drew. Jim Lee stands tall as one of the most popular comic book artists of all time. Recently, the artist announced that he would open his commissions again after a 15-year hiatus. While the pricing may have surprised many in the community, it did shine a line back on the renowned artist. Jim Lee and Wolverine's fan rushed to the aftermarket to pick up iconic pieces of his work. The prices on this book are extremely reasonable for such an iconic comic book cover, tracking 23 copies sold, high sale of $95 for CDC 9.8, and Rawls about $10. Interesting. So our boy Jim Lee doing some work. The Authority, number 1. We've talked about this a few times. The Authority is still popular fan theory in the aftermarket. Speculation is that the Authority would debut in James Gunn's upcoming Superman. 13 copies in the secondary market, $130 for CGC 9.6, fair market value $43. Talked earlier about Annihilation 2099, number 1. All eyes are on the MCU as we prepare for the MCU film of the year to debut later this month. Did you hear that, Drew? MCU film.
Yeah, I heard it.
Even though we only received one movie this year, other projects have continued to make progress. In early March, Marvel confirmed that they were still working on the Nova project. There isn't much known about this project, and nearly all Nova keys were hot on the aftermarket at some point in the past year. This week it looks like fans are chasing the latest Nova to debut, The Last Nova. The book is also a retailer incentive, making this key much more desirable. 19 copies of this one in 25 variant, $43 for near mints. settling to 34 if you're checking it. Good. Spider-Man Reign #2, #1, the Leslie LaRue Lee 1 in 25 book. Let's see here. 42 copies selling on this. Just a dynamite cover. I love that cover, too.
Yeah.
$16 for very fine copies. High hitting $27.
I think you were the first one to point me at this Leslie LaRue cover artist.
Mm-hmm.
Her stuff's good.
And his debut is Kitty Cat on the cover, which is Black Cat's Daughter of Earth 70,237.
Oh. Wait a minute. Oh, no. So wait a minute. She's actually Black Cat's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a Miles Morales from Earth 70237. Right?
I thought they were calling her this Earth's Miles Morales. I don't know.
This issue to Kitty Cat, Black Cat's daughter, and Earth's Miles Morales. Okay, maybe. We'll see. We'll have to read it.
Yeah. We got to find out what's going on.
Oh, I guess I had to read this damn thing.
Proof #1 comes in at rank 10. A new supernatural crime series is coming to Fox and involves an FBI agent partnering with Bigfoot. Haha. 10 copies sold, $103 for Near Mint Plus. Raw is going for around $63 if you're looking.
Okay. All right. I like it. At rank 11, we've got Geiger. Geiger is back with a new #1. Or was this the original #1? I can't tell. But 14, yeah, it's probably the original. 14 of these sold, $85 for a 9.8. Most of the time they're selling for 15 raw 9 near mints. Sonic the Hedgehog #70, the Natalie 4-drain 1 in 10. This is a retailer incentive Sonic cover, but this is Sonic's debut as the Phantom Rider, so fans were eager. So eager, they bought 28 copies on the aftermarket for around $20 raw for near mints.
The Phantom Rider, interesting.
Yeah. Now, Action 1066, this is the Mark Spears 1 in 25. No longer in the top 10. This book is still going strong because of the Lobo troll doll looking cover.
Mm-hmm.
10 of these moved. We sold 1 for 60. Most of the time, the raw near mints are going for $50. At rank 14, we've got the Blood Hunt Red Band edition for #1, still tracking and selling. This is the 1 in 25 homage, crime suspense story cover homage. 12 of these sold, and now we've got a CGC 98 going for over 200 at 209. Raw is selling for 139. That's a 1 in 25, folks. So doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Rank 15, we've got the Terrifics #1. First appearance of the Terrifics, 100. But I don't know that. I may have just guessed that. I don't know that that's true. $100 for a CGC 96. 10 of these moved, and we're selling them most of the time for $17 raw. I think it's the first appearance of Mr. Terrific, maybe. At rank 16, we have a Vicious Circle #1, the Lee Bermejo cover. We love Lee Bermejo covers. They're all pretty great. Only 7 of these sold. They sold for around $15 a piece. And so this is trending because, I guess, because of the Superman set photos. That's kind of cool. At rank 17, we look at the Detective Comics 1086, the Sebastian Fiumara 1 in 25. They're saying only 9 of these sold at $57 for near mints with a high of 70. So it's that paint splatter cover, which is pretty great. At 18, we're still selling a few of the Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime 1 in 10 Gabriel Del Auto covers. 20 of those sold, with going for around $13 a piece. At rank 19, we're also talking about Watchmen with a $165 CGC 9.6, but most of the 17 sold for around $35 raw for very fine. At rank 20, rounding out our list, Biker Mice from Mars, Volume 1, Number 1. 10 of these sold, raws for $24, a high sale of a CGC 9.0 for $84. Biker Mice from Mars, Kyle.
I'm aware of that title.
Oh, yeah.
I know my Biker Mice from Mars.
Now, who doesn't? Now it's time to slide on over to Lunar and just skip Tuesdays now, because DC's back on
very
Wednesdays.
little. Yeah, I was gonna say.
And so that experiment was, let's call it a failure.
Yeah,
DC
I'd say
tried it for a year, 2 years. What do you think? How long has it been? Has it been
I'd say
2
it's
years?
been a couple. I think we had 2 years of it. Yeah,
2 years of it, and didn't work. Nobody else followed suit.
Mm-hmm.
Comic shops just broke street date anyway, and I think they're going to continue to. I don't think it's going to matter. So yeah, just put them back on Wednesdays. Put them back on. Yeah, that's good.
All right, let's head straight to Wednesday then.
Look at that Ain't No Grave third printing sketch cover. That's pretty nice. Really nice.
And we got a second printing of the second issue too. So.
Oh wow, doing well.
Bjorn Barons, Batman, Superman, World's Finest 29.
Wow,
that's beautiful.
We have not seen a Bjorn Barons in DC for a while, have we?
He's done a few things here and there, but not with as much.
Yeah.
And this is one of the few, blue suit Batmans I really like.
That's really great.
Yeah.
You're right there. That's fantastic.
Catwoman 67, David Nakayama doing the cover A.
I like a hippie Catwoman.
Do you know?
Yeah. She's got some junk in her trunk.
There you go. Absolutely. Need a couple extra stitches of leather. Dark Knights of Steel, All Winter.
Oh, yeah. Is that Tom Taylor doing that? No. Well,
yeah.
half Tom Taylor.
Parts of it.
Yeah. Probably one of those where somebody else is the writer, he's the plot or script supervisor or something like that. I like both those covers.
Very much so.
And some of the other ones on the backside as well. I don't know who all those people are, but it looks pretty good.
But we're here for it.
Yeah. Destro, Kyle. Who is Destro part of Cobra?
Yeah. Correct.
In the G.I. Joe deal? Okay. Is he like
a bad guy?
Is he like a number 2?
Yes.
Remember? Okay.
Something like that. I don't know that he's necessarily number 2. I think it's more the one.
He's maybe a henchman.
Yeah.
Like an assassin for the bad guys or something. Yeah. All right. Oh my goodness, Kyle. One of the Ed Brubaker books I don't know that I ever read was Fatale. And now it's a beautiful collection for only $59 for the entire series.
Okay.
Pretty nice. Compendium Fatale. Yeah, I think that's one that I started and never got to finish for whatever reason. Didn't know the greatness of Brubaker Phillips at the time. Should have stuck with it.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Hellblazer Dead in America, number 7 of 11. Kyle, I swear to God this was a 9-issue series 2 months ago.
And then something went off the rails.
Are you serious? Has this always been 11? Somebody tell me.
Yeah. Really good Martin Simmons.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
I swear to Christ. From Mad Cave, we have The Last Wardens, #1.
We've only got one Mugshots cover. What's up with that? Oh, Nightwing 116's got a dead man on the cover. That's great.
That is very cool.
Countdown's on, bro. There's not too many more of these left, is there?
No, not with my boy. Or no, my boy's done.
No, he's still there.
Got this one and 2 more. That's right.
The plastic sequel. Horde of Earth gets collected as a deluxe edition hardcover. That's cool. Red Coat gets a wraparound cover.
I like that.
Sam and Twitch gets a Origin hardcover. So this is for people like me reading the new thing where you're like, man, this is really good. Was Sam and Twitch this good back in the day?
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, it collects the first 13 issues of that. So you could read it right there.
Back into the G.I. Joe Energon universe, Scarlet #1 going to a second print, and then they're giving us the 3 second prints at A, B, and to C.
Wow. But no retailer incentives.
Nope, no RI.
Showing some restraint.
That's what I was just about to say, yeah. No ratio. Oh man, Superman 16 has a great Satana Cho cover.
Wow, yeah. And Azerde, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You like the Cho though?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it because of the white space?
I just like the hoop thing and
the hoop. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course a character cover from Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Those are pretty classic.
Actually, a fan of Titans 13's B cover, the Mateus Manhanini cover. It's very good too.
Yeah, that is a classic, solid group cover shot right there.
Undiscovered Country 30. I like that cover B with Uncle Sam in the boxing ring.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Walking Dead's. What's the further way from here? Witchblade #1 for its 2024. Marguerite Bennett writing that.
Huh. Marguerite Bennett's back.
Yep. All right, Drew, I'm heading over to Previews World. I'm going to find our new releases and see how Wednesday stacks up on top of everything else. Let's go back again through our image books to make sure we didn't miss anything.
I don't think we did.
We talked about Domain from Zdarsky.
Yeah.
I'm on the wrong day.
About that. You are on the wrong day because I think I'm in July 17.
There we go. Yep, I think we got pretty much everything.
Oh. And then went boom. We've got nothing. Maybe that's why they sold them.
Man's Best is a good series by our good friend Hornsack
Yep.
Pichonot, and it is finishing up with 5 of 5. So make sure you get the last one of that. Marvel has some amazing Spider-Man Blood Hunt.
Do we want to talk about the Dark Horse Comics offerings of pint glasses?
Yes.
What the hell? Yeah. What's this Blood Hunters 4 Declan Shalvey cover? All green, like a little inset in it.
Yeah.
That's a strange looking cover.
Very strange. Don't dislike it though, but
I don't hate it, but it's very different. Daredevil Woman Without Fear launches with the cool Josh Schwabe cover.
Not bad. Immortal Thor Annual #1.
Now this Namor cover isn't as bad. Jason Aaron. Was it the last Marvel Callow we looked at? We were like, what is this Namor doing?
It was a weird freaking
Not
Namor.
my Namor.
Mm-hmm.
But all these Namor covers look pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Even the Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe cover is fun.
Yeah, that's great.
Phoenix #1. Stephanie Phillips writing this. Yasmin Putri on a beautiful cover A. Cassara having a foil cover there. Pete Momoko getting a really good cover. I love Rose Besch, and Rose Besch gets an awesome cover as well. Really good. Even my good friend Aka, but it's not as good as the Rose Besch.
Was he the pod racer?
Who's that?
Sebulba?
Yeah, Chesco Sebulba. Yep, he was the other pod.
Phantom Menace pod racer. Spidey gets some character sketches for
there you go, yeah.
Their second printing
of 4 and 5.
Yeah, Marco Cicchetto. So is that Gwen Stacy and Osborn, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh, man, I love that X-Men Blood Hunt Laura Kinney Wolverine Momoko variant.
Yeah, that's good Momoko. Good the Momoko.
Down to Dynamite, where their big sell is Powerpuff Girls #1.
Yeah, okay. Not as many covers as I thought they'd have.
Yeah, and not as many artists that I cared about.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Thundercats comes back with issue 6.
Thundercats. Oh.
Pretty solid.
Biker Mice from Mars #1 from Oni. The next epic chapter.
Okay, we were just talking about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, so we got a relaunch. Yeah. Yep. Good timing.
Elric the Necromancer from Titan Comics, based on the Michael Moorcock's beloved original series. Don't know the series. Not sure on that one.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not familiar with that.
You're not familiar with Moorcock in his series?
I am not. Life, issue 2.
My Own Life is a hilarious video game.
Oh, is it? Everything.
Uh-huh.
or a cartoon. From Mad Cave. Yeah, go ahead. Did we talk about last?
Yeah, when we went through the Penguin Random House.
Was it? Okay.
Touched on it for just a second. With an alcoholic father and a hole in her wallet, Danielle Pryor's life in the rustic town of Bleakwood goes from bad to worse when her long-lost brother Bruce returns from Vietnam.
Why do we have a mug shots? I was thinking of grommets. I was like, why are we looking at mug shots without any other covers? But mug shots and grommets are 2 different books. So, oops. Paranoid Gardens #1 by who knows from Dark Horse. Rocketeer Breaks Free #1. This is an IDW book.
Mm-hmm.
Popular property. Tons of Star Treks.
Usagi Yojimbo. I like the cover B, a David Nakayama cover. I like the way David Nakayama does.
Yes.
Usagi Yojimbo.
All right.
I think we've reached the end of it. We got some Corvo Bianco from The Witcher. That's on Titan as well. Or no, Dark Horse on that. All right, Drew. We got to find our pick of the week. What's the one book to make sure you grab up, put in your back pocket, nice and crispy to have? Because it's going to be the next Doom or the next Spider-Man Ultimates or any of this stuff that seems to be doing very well right out of the gate.
Be crispy. Put it in my back pocket. I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff here. I do like that Bjorn Barons that you pointed out, but
yeah, doing DC stuff.
That was really cool. There's that. Oh man, I don't know.
Of course, Biker Mice from Mars is an option.
Yeah, and I like the Namor. I think I'm going to go with the Namor. We're just weeks away from the premiere. This being on the shelves, I think, is going to be kind of cool. So the Cassara Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe variant for Namor #1.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to hope we get something cool from this Phoenix book from Marvel, and I'm going to go with Phoenix #1. I'm going to go with the Rose of Besch cover A because I really like it. Really, a few good covers there for those Marvel. A lot of things to choose from. Even my girl doing a great cover, but peach. I'm sorry, I instead of a peach, I chose a rose on this one.
You went with the Rose Besch Phoenix over the Momoko.
Yep.
Okay, so it's Rose Besch.
Besch, yep.
The Besch. Okay.
I thought it was the Besch cover. And if you want more of those kind of jokes, head on over to Comics for Fun and Profit, and head on over to patreon.com, Comics Fun and Profit. Throw a couple bucks and be the first to hear all my great jokes. When we go see things like Deadpool, we like to release our reviews and afterthoughts first thing on our Patreon to our loyal listeners. Be part of that group, and of course, be there first thing so you can really be like, no, you guys are dumb. Don't say that. That was bad. And be the first one to hear it. So for Drew and for myself, so you.
Reason 365,422 to support us on Patreon. We had our account locked. Our server was locked over the weekend, and turned out it was time to pay the bill, and it was a doozy. And under normal circumstances, it would have caused quite an issue, but because of our patrons, we had money in our account, and we were able to quickly move that over, pay our dues, and get our account turned back on to where you really didn't notice, I don't think, that our account had been frozen. We appreciate our patrons, so please head over to patreon.com/comicsfunprofit and support us at any level to keep the lights on. Literally, figuratively, keep the lights on. And we appreciate those of you who do. Thank you so much.